Hello, folks, and welcome to the 2020 MHBA Division I Men's Basketball Championship bracket. I'm your host, Jimmy Jimerson, and to my left here, my personal friend and sports enthusiast, Michael Jim.
Thanks for having me on the show, Jimmy.
My pleasure, Michael. So let's hop right into this thing. Okay, MHBA stands for the Mini Hoop Basketball Association, and we have a Division I Men's Basketball Championship bracket going on here. So let's hop right into it. We had 16 games played last night.
Indeed we did.
And 6 of which were not televised, sorry to say.
Sadly.
Couldn't grab any highlights from those. But we will bring you some scores, and we'll tell you all about those 6 games before we hop into the actual highlights. So let's hop right into it. We had Kansas versus Siena last night. Number 1 seed versus 16 seed. No biggie there. Kansas just blew out the competition with Siena 11-2. What'd you think about that game, Michael?
You know, Kansas really showed why they're the number 1 seed and not the 15th seed. They're number 1 for a reason.
Yeah, well put, well said. Here we go. Still in the Midwest, we had another game in the Midwest played last night. Duke-Belmont. Really wish that game would have been televised. It was an amazing game to watch. The offense put on a show there, Michael.
Yeah.
Just no question about it.
Duke really showed why they're the number 3 seed. I would love to see Kansas and Duke go at it.
It's going to be great. And them winning 14-2, like I said, great offensive battle, but just great defensive show right there. So we're moving on here to Kentucky versus North Dakota State, if I'm reading that right. North Dakota State, yes. North Dakota State. And if I'm also reading that right, 11-10 was the score with Kentucky taking the win. Definitely a lot closer than we thought there, right, Jim?
Yeah, you know, Kentucky had a great season, but, you know, they're coming a little sloppy in the beginning of this tournament. They got to fix that if they want to go far in this tournament.
Indeed. So I'm kind of nervous to see how Kentucky's going to play against Providence, which is the team that they play in the round of 32 come Saturday night. So moving on to the East now. We had 3 games not televised that we're going to talk to you about in the East. Okay, Villanova versus Hofstra. Hofstra, don't even know where they come from. But, hey, Hofstra's Hofstra. So let's get into it. Villanova took the win 12-8 against Hofstra. Great win for Villanova. Just an average game. Nothing too close, nothing too far. Just what we expected, Villanova. Just what we expected from them. And they get to play UCLA come Saturday night, so it's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
So let's move on to West Virginia versus Utah State. Michael, what'd you think about that game?
You know, West Virginia, you know, they're ranked 7. Utah State's ranked 10. Obviously, most people think, you know, West Virginia's going to win. But Utah State came out with an aggressive mentality that they just, you know, they want to win. They want it, so they went and they took it.
And Utah State just having a great end of their season, winning the
Definitely.
MAC. It's MWC, winning the MWC. Just a great way to finish off this season, and
Amazing.
Just a great way to put themselves against Northern Kentucky, which is the game we're going to talk about next, which is the biggest upset of the night come from last night. Florida State versus Northern Kentucky. I'm going to have my friend Michael talk all about that. Go ahead, Michael.
Thanks, Jimmy. We're hopping into the upset report. Now, we're talking about Northern Kentucky versus Florida State. The biggest upset tonight. Northern Kentucky ranked 15 versus Florida State ranked 2, you know. Florida State should have had it. They should have won. It's a 15th seed. They should have won. But, you know, Northern Kentucky, they had a plan, and they stuck to that plan, and it paid off. I mean, they won 16-4. It was a close game, but they snuck by, which come next game against Utah State, I would love to see that game.
Yeah, Utah State should handily win these guys, but if Northern Kentucky can play the way they played against Florida State, I have no reason to believe why they can't make it to the Sweet 16, maybe even farther.
Final Four.
Exactly.
Anyway,
they played so great.
The next upset we have Penn State versus UCLA. Penn State ranked 6 versus UCLA ranked 11. You know, not as big of an upset as the Northern Kentucky game, but you know, UCLA came and they want what they wanted, and they took it and they snuck by very closely. We'll see the highlight reel on that. Am I right?
Absolutely. We're going to hop right into those highlights
12-11.
in just a moment.
Last upset, though, we have Iowa ranked 6 versus Eastern Tennessee ranked 11. Now, Iowa ranked 6, they had a pretty good season, but they came off way too sloppy in the game. They were way too cocky. Eastern Tennessee came, and they made a fool out of them, winning 12-7.
Just an Eastern Tennessee State team, just a team no one's even heard about. If you're outside Tennessee, I'm guessing. Just a team no one's even heard about. But that's why we love March Madness. Any team has any chance to win. Has every chance to win. Out. So let's hop right into these highlights. Michael, let's talk about these 16 games. We've already talked about 6 of them. Hop into the rest of the 10. And
should be fun.
Should be great. All right, let's get started with these highlights. Houston versus Marquette. Houston, of course, taking the dub, but very close game, 6-5, with a last-second shot by Houston's all-star guard, Trey Beck.
Definitely. Marquette, shows who's boss and shoots a 3 in his eye.
Just no question about it. Shouldn't have let that happen. But as you can see, last-second three-pointer there by Trey Beck took the dub. Moving on from Auburn to Liberty. Auburn versus Liberty. Very high-scoring game.
Definitely.
I think the highest-scoring game we had from last night, 14-11. Auburn taking the win there.
They're just trading off threes for now.
Trading off threes. And as you can see, the athletic ability here by Liberty, just dunking on top of him. No idea how they're letting that happen. But as you can see, Auburn can also dunk on a bigger opponent. And it's great. Just off-balance three-pointer. Amazing. Great skill we're seeing from both opponents here.
Amazing.
Wisconsin versus North Texas. Here we go. Wisconsin taking the dub only by 1 point.
But they were playing really great defense. They really deserved that win.
Yeah, Wisconsin all game was playing great defense. Even though it was a little high-scoring game, definitely great defensive battle by Wisconsin over here.
Definitely.
Just some great dunks we were seeing today. And that dunk, let me tell you, that dunk being the buzzer beater right there. Iowa versus Tennessee State.
One of the few upsets in this bracket so far.
One of the biggest upsets. And they were not joking around. Eastern Tennessee wasn't going to be joking around. Hitting 3 after three-pointer.
Just showing who's boss and why they should move on.
Absolutely. And Iowa could not get anything to the basket, only scoring 7 points.
They were afraid.
Providence versus Arizona State. Very big game for Providence, taking that dub 9-2. Now, let me tell you, 9-2, very poor showing by Arizona State, to which we thought we were going to see a lot more points.
Definitely.
Dayton versus Robert Morris. Let's talk about that next game. Here we go. Moving into the East, we have Dayton and Robert Morris. Dayton only winning by 1 point.
Not really showing why they should be first seed. They're not really proving themselves like they should.
Yeah, Robert Morris was there hitting threes. In fact, the score was 8-3 at the end of the half. And Dayton should have been killing in this game, but Robert Morris had something to prove. Definitely. But Dayton taking the dub, 8-7. All right, Colorado versus Florida, next game on our list. Colorado winning again, only by 1 point, 7-6.
Very close games.
Very, very close games indeed. Just some great 3-point and dunks that we're seeing at this game. A lot of skill. As you can see, the cross-up dunk, just absolutely
huge.
Amazing. Colorado taking the dub. At the very end, another buzzer beater dunk right there. All right, Butler versus Texas, moving on. Texas actually had to play in a game to get into here, and Butler's showing them, hey, that's why you're going home. Okay, we're the best team in Texas here. So, 8-2, Butler taking the dub. Just all these 2-pointers. Look at that, through the leg layup right there. Just
Definitely.
Something we haven't seen before.
No, just that huge dunk on that guard.
That was 8-2 at the end of the game.
No, Maryland versus Akron.
Yeah, Akron versus Maryland. Maryland taking the dub easily, 10-4.
Easy.
Just showing why they're the better seed, why they're the better team. And as you can see, just Maryland just trying to mess with Akron a little bit, but yeah, Akron's just showing why they're here. And
Definitely.
But just a great defensive battle, just amazing. 3-pointers going all around. Just a great game. All right, moving on. Penn State versus UCLA. This was a very high-scoring game, and it came down to the last second with UCLA taking the dub 12-11.
They definitely upset Penn State. Like I said, one of the very few upsets that's happened in this bracket. Usually it's been whoever's better.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, it was very close game. And just, oh man. And let me tell you, UCLA was actually down a little bit. And with a couple seconds left, they made that dunk. Okay? As you can see, Penn State is trying to waste some time on the clock to get that buzzer beater dunk. But UCLA coming in with the block at the very end to end it. And that's the coverage of our highlights there, Michael. What'd you think about those?
They were very exciting games. I'm just very kind of disappointed that we didn't get that last game, the Florida State versus Northern Kentucky. That would have been an amazing game to watch.
Yep, definitely. A 2 seed versus 15 seed. Definitely wanted to see one of those. And as of tonight, we should be seeing the rest of the round of 64 finishing off very nicely, very smoothly. And we'll make sure to get you those games as fast as we can. Should have another video posted tomorrow. Just to let you know, another 6 games not going to be televised, but like I said, we are going to be posting as much as we can about these games. So stay tuned. And Michael, thanks for coming on the show.
Anytime. Thanks, Jimmy.
My pleasure. And that's a wrap of the 2020 MHBA Division I Men's Basketball Championship Bracket Round of 64. I'm Jimmy Jimerson.
And I'm Michael Jim.
And that's all.